What's up, Fire fam? My name is Kiahonfire and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are looking at Sacrifice Interrupted, a new event coming to Conan Exiles. Oh, well, has come to Conan Exiles now, actually, because 3.0 is here and happy days, Age of Sorcery. Now, I have seen this spawn in Set City and I've also seen it spawn right up in the north, so it's a northern event. Fun times, happy days. If any of you guys have seen it on Sipter though, do let me know. Some of those Sipter ones can be very elusive, so it's been a bit of a struggle finding them, but however I found this one, and this event is an absolute banger if you can find one yourself. It is a very fun event to do, and you know, totally soloable. You can do it without a thrall, although I would recommend for this one that perhaps bringing a thrall would be a good idea, as you do have to fight 3 skull boss and 2 mini bosses at the end. You're going to see lots of devotees around this big circle with a guy and candles, and basically you're going to want to kill all the devotees, and then you're going to see a fun little cutscene after you've done that, and that will happen in the second you get to see it. But it's pretty darn cool. So you kill the devotee and you see the guy in the middle. He's like, ooh, more ha ha ha. Candles turn off and he's gonna clap for you. So he's like, yes, well done, you've done it, you've fallen for my plan. And then it turns dark, so you're probably going to want a torch for this one, or you can just step aside out of the middle of this arena-y place and it will go light and you'll be able to see again. But if you want to stay in the middle, kind of, and especially for this area, because it seems to just stay cold here for me in the middle, but as soon as I move more towards the bridge it goes very cold, so usually for me here it was best to stick to the middle, but you don't have to. Like you're seeing when I get to the borders, it gets lighter. It's like they have a shadow effect, like they've cast as a darkness spell, like you can do in game, just without the webs. Anyway, doing that will spawn 2 very large undead guys. I'm saying undead because that means bleeding and stuff does not work on them, so you won't be able to use that. So they're one of those kind of classes, but they're not too bad. The attacks are very predictable, and the thing with them is, as well, it might look like they're swinging into you, but their hitboxes are really bad unless you're right in front of them, so you can actually just walk around them quite a lot and it's absolutely fine. Like, you don't need too much. I'm level 40 in this video and I'm being able to take these on just fine. When they hit you, it's not so nice, but for the most part you can walk around and dodge them. You don't really need to do the dodge mechanic unless both of them are going for you. And you're going to notice when I'm fighting them anyway, they're extremely derpy. Sometimes they just stand there and look at the sun and just be like, yeah, this is my life. And then, you know, they take a moment to think about things, or you can just, because they're clumsy with a hammer attack, you can just wait for them to charge up and stuff. Anyway, objective is to move on to the next phase, because this is only the second phase, to kill these 2 big lunky dudes. Note, when you do kill them, well, you can actually farm them for some unstable essence. So you can get that if you like, and yeah, even on Exiled Lands you could get some of this juice. And of course, with most of these events, they seem to give you the classic, you know, maelstrom items. So you can farm lots of black ice, brimstone, blood, ash, etc. out of them, and do just fine, like happy days. You don't need like really good equipment for this either. Like, I'm doing just fine in dragon bone, and that's not the best on the tins, so I'm doing absolutely fine. So both of those, make sure you farm them with a pickaxe, take what you want out of their inventory, and then you'll notice the next phase will start to kick in. And rumble, it's going to bring in a summoning circle, and you should be met with a blood moon beast. Now, it is actually kind of worth it, if you like, to kind of just keep her around and keep her attacking, because she spawns these little worms, and when she spawns these little worms, they can drop their very own drops and can be worth farming out just for their own drops. You'll see at the end. But they give some really nice stuff as well if you keep them around, and you can get a nice meat farm out of them, or get lots of spoiled meat for your gardening as well. So she works out pretty good. Now, she can be a tough boss. I recommend staying close by to her and going around her, because when you give her range, she actually is a bit more deadly at range because she shoots projectiles at you. Just make sure you're staying behind her as much as possible, because if you're in front of her, it's going to hurt. And sometimes she does do AoE splash damage with vomit and stuff, or the big blood ball she summons. So as long as you're out of the way of those, you should be absolutely fine. Mostly just going to be the case of going around her, rinse and repeat, and doing some bleeding damage or whatever damage you can do, cripple. Get rid of the little worms as well while you're at it. I tend to not just go for the worms because they spawn all the time anyway. I just tend to attack the main boss and then kill the worms while I'm swinging with the axe as well, and that could be handy. But if you're struggling, do get rid of the worms and then you can go for her again. Just remember that it's going to be a constant thing, that she's going to keep spawning worms on you, and that's just going to go over and over and over again. But anyway, she's basically just a big meat pile, like a big health bar boss. So just dodge her attacks, move around her slowly. You don't need to run or anything. Recharge your stamina as much as possible, and then you can go ahead and get her bounty. And there we go, we're pretty much there. We're gonna kill her off, and there we go. Do know when I do kill the boss, her worms don't die, so I have all these worms to kill now. And you can see I've actually summoned lots and lots of worms throughout my fight with this boss. So she's going to give you some corrupted liver, some bits and bobs, nice bits out of harvesting her. Make sure you pickaxe these guys. And you're going to notice in the little critters as well, the little annoying worms, they give little sacks and stuff as well from their stuff too. So that's good. I do recommend bringing a repair kit as well to this fight. I've needed a couple just because there's so many mobs to kill. Especially with the worms, yeah, you might need a repair kit here. It will be very handy. Anyways, looking in the worms, I'm picking up your Maelstrom loot, and I'm picking up those little sacks. And those little sacks, if you open them up, they can give you a variety of things, like bones, skulls, like really easy skulls. If you need skulls for sorcery, do this event, because they give you weathered skulls for free out of these bags. If you get lucky as well, you get quite a few, and that could be quite a nice bounty. So if you just make her keep spawning these, you can just get loads of skulls. It's happy days, it's really good that way. And you can see, even though I got a really crappy iron pick afterwards, like my loot haul is pretty decent. I'm getting the bone meal, I'm getting the arrows, and I'm getting some nice bone either way out of these sacks, and some weathered skulls. Happy days. I think I got about 6 or 7 in the end. But if I farm more, I could get just even more skulls, and you need skulls for sorcery and some recipes, so just bear that in mind. It's going to be useful. And another great thing out of the little worms as well that drops is ABYSMAL fangs and eyes. So if you need that for any armor or weapons or anything, they drop absolutely loads. So you can make great use of those, and yeah, it's the best source for those in the game, even better than dregs. You can farm these out of these guys. It's going to be amazing. You're going to get loads and loads of loot. But anyway, also, oh yeah, the blood sac you can get from the blood moon beast as well can give you black blood. And that's also going to be useful for your endeavors. Anyway, thank you for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.